Hi everyone, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. So I just received a shipment of all of the new paper glazes from Picket Fence Studios, and I've been playing around. I have lots of different ways you can use them, things probably you haven't even thought of yet. So stay tuned, we have tons of different tips, tricks and techniques for you today, so let's get started. Mentioned, we're talking today about the Picket Fence paper glazes, and I always love when I get a new medium, so I'm super thankful that Picket Fence sent them over for me to try out and get my thoughts on them. Now there are 13 amazing colours that I have in a rainbow on my desk. I also swatched them all out, so we go through the pinks, the oranges, yellows, turquoises, greens, violets, and of course our neutrals as well. So I did swatch them all out for you. You can see here in that same order. So we've got Peony pink, Marigold orange, golden rose, Daffodil yellow, leaf green, fern green, Succulent green, ocean poppy, which I think is my absolute favourite, Cornflower blue, Agapantha's purple, black pansy, brown Dahlia, and then there's a pearlized white. Now they didn't put a name on that one, so I'm just going to call it pearl white. But they are great. Now this here, you might wonder how I got these really cool textures in here. This is literally with my finger. I dipped my finger in, each of them had a little lid that you picked out. So before I did anything, I just dabbed my finger in that little piece that you would tear off and throw in the bin. And I just did these little stripes and it came out super cool. I think lots of different techniques even that we could do this and make some really fun backgrounds with them. But they are your 13 colours. You'll see they're pearlized too. They're nice and reflective, really, really pretty. So I wanted to show you how they work. So I took, first of all, that ocean poppy, which I think is this one. This is your ocean poppy, and I took a Picket Fence stencil called Fish Scales. Now, if you want to know anything I use, I have linked it below with any coupon codes I have as well, so you can check that out too. And I took it through the stencil. It's a really nice consistency. So you can see here, it's a very creamy kind of consistency. And I just put it through the stencil. Really simple. And you can see I did it on black and on white, so you can really see the difference. But it pops beautifully on both. It doesn't lose its colour at all. That some other glazes I've reviewed recently really lost their colour when I put them on black. This doesn't at all. It maintains that integrity and it looks amazing. So once I did that, I was like, okay, that's cool. How does the white do on black? So I took the white pearl, again, another Picket Fence stencil, Dalmatian tile stencil. I put it through and you can see, again, it does really, really well on the black. So let's try that out. Let's just take a stencil. Here I have All About Triangles. This is a Picket Fence stencil. And I'm going to take just a piece of regular cardstock. I'm going to pop this on top. I'm just going to hold it because I'm going to do a section and show you. Spatula. I really like silicone spatulas. These are the Nouveau ones. And then literally like a fondant, a cake paste. Very, very simple. You see these spatulas are really flexible too, which is another reason I like them. And I'm just going to go around until I filled in a bit of stencil. And the great thing with a silicone spatula is you can pick up all your excess. Look how much excess I have. I can make this thicker if I want to, thinner. You really have great control. And then anything I have left, it all goes back in my container. So it's a really low waste doing it this way, which is great. So I'm going to pop my lid back on again. And then lift up your stencil. Oops. Come on, paper. There we go. Lift up your stencil, and that is the effect. I absolutely love it. And it's so easy. The other thing I really noticed when I was doing these swatches was how quickly it dried. This was dry, and we live in Ohio where things don't dry quickly like when we're in Phoenix, but these were dry super, super fast, maybe like 10 minutes or so, and I was ready to put them all together, ready to prep this video. So I also wanted to try some other things because you know me, I'm not going to just take a paste and use it in that traditional way. I took that white pearl paste and I was like, well, what can I mix into it? If you've ever seen my videos on glitter paste, you'll know that the moonstone you can take and you can mix all sorts of things in and it gives amazing effects. Well, the same applies with this. So I did a few experiments and I'm going to show you. Again, I did it on black and on white. So I took my And I did all the same colours. So I took Distress ink, Distress Oxide, and Distress Oxide spray. And I did it so that we have a very consistent colour palette so you can see the real difference between adding in different things. So if I just add in the Distress ink, literally I take it, I smushed it down on here, put a dollop of the pearl over the top, mixed it in, and that was it. And I tried to be very consistent as much as I could by eye of the amount of ink to paste ratio. So that will obviously affect the colour too. But you'll see the difference here. So this is regular Distress ink. It's much lighter, a bit more opaque. Whereas when I do the oxide, it's a little bit more intense and chalky. It's also a slightly different shade. This is more lilac-y. This is more of a pinky lilac. So it definitely changes. But again, you can add colour to it. You could try a dot of liquid watercolour. You could try a dot of re-inker. You know, you really can do all sorts of different things. But this was just taking the pad, smushing it down, mixing it, and then putting it on cardstock. And I did the same with my oxide spray. Just one spritz of spray because it is a more concentrated pigment. And again, look, you got more intense. You can also kind of marble it if you don't mix it as well. But again, just, you know, you can see there's the same colour of distress that's gone in, but you get different variations out, but all of them work on light and dark cardstock. So I think that's important because I love something that's versatile and I can stretch it in lots of different ways. So again, you still see how it retains that pearlescent pigment to it, that pearlescent property. So it doesn't lose that pearlescence when we mix something that isn't pearlescent into it. So I wanted to share that with you too. And then I had a aha moment. Maybe I can do something a little bit even more interesting with the paper things. And I created this butterfly, and I absolutely love this butterfly. To me, it seems like very kind of mixed media-y, a bit more grungy, but I love the effect. It's pearlescent too. You can probably just see the light catching it just a little bit. But the reason I love it so much is because I used the paper paste. I used the Agapantha's purple, and I'm going to show you how because it was so simple to do. So let's grab out my Misty, which is down here, and we'll open this up. I'm going to pop in, just rather than sticky grid, I'm just popping in my Easy Clean Mat. Normally I have my smaller one, but this one will work fine. I'm using the new Picket Fence Swallowtail Beauty Stamp Set, which is just so pretty. And I'm using regular cardstock. Nothing special, regular white cardstock. And I am going to just tape it down. So I'm just going to grab out some. Can you believe I've run out of purple tape? It's a disaster. I have ordered some, but in the meantime, we're just going to use masking tape for this. I'm going to take this, I'm going to stick it down, and I'm also just going to put some over these two corners. So we're going to take our stamp, we're going to position our stamp over here, and I'm just going to move my tape so it's out of the way. I'll move my butterfly up so it skips that bit of tape. So you can see I'm perfectly positioned just like that. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my stamp, and this is kind of where the fun part comes in. As I say, I actually had my smaller Easy Clean Mat upstairs, but down here I just seem to have the big one. So it will still work, but you want to take some paste. Let's do a different colour. I'm going to do the green. This is leaf green. And I just have a little ink dauber. That's all you need, is just one of the regular ink daubers. You could use a spatula, but I found that the ink dauber just did a better job for me. And you can either put a dollop on your surface, or if you're brave, you can just dip your dauber in. Of course, these are washable, so I'm not so worried. And then I just did a very gentle dab all over my image. Now I'm going to talk to you about cleaning this off too, because I did find some tips and tricks. And that's it. That's all I did, was just put my paper glaze all over. And you want to be reasonably quick and just give it a nice press. And I did have to do it a couple of times, so we'll just see how this comes out. This one's actually come out really nice first time. Of course, you could do this on black or white cardstock, but isn't that just I love the texture you get by stamping with the paper glaze, and a really thin coat too. So, okay, cleaning up your stamp, because I know that that's your question of like, okay, this is great, Alex, but could you tell me how I clean this up? With a stencil, normally if I'm working with stencils, when I was upstairs in the craft room, I have just a little tub of warm water and I sit in there until I'm ready, and then I'll go and clean them all at the sink. One thing I love that I have in my craft room is this little scrubby guy. It's just a nail scrubber. Yes, it's a unicorn, Greg. I can see him smiling. I just love this. But all I did was I spritzed this with some isopropyl alcohol. I gave it a really good scrub, put it in my warm water, left it there for maybe 10 minutes, and then I used this new stamp scrubber they sent me. I'm trying not to make too much of a mess here, but all you do with this is you put this in water. When you put it in water, it's going to expand slightly. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, so it's not a smooth sponge, but it's got like a silicone-y texture. So what I did, isopropyl alcohol, scrub, 10 minutes in warm water. If you have rubber stamps, you don't want to do the soaking in warm water. It won't do them too much good. Just take it straight to the tap, a little bit of Dawn, and over it, and the paper glaze came straight off. So it didn't come off just with normal stamp cleaner, but doing those steps. And make sure you've washed off that isopropyl alcohol. You don't want to leave it on your photopolymer stamp. It's fine on a rubber stamp. Photopolymer, not so much. But I really love these paper glazes. I hope you're going to give them a try. I have linked them under this video, and I have lots more videos on the way. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see the rest of the paper glaze videos. And I do have a tip, a trick, or a technique every single day as well. But the paper glazes are great because we can do so many things with them. I'm a real fan of the fact that we can use them on the black and the white cardstock. I love the fact that the white still pops on black, that we can mix in things and they still maintain that pearlescent quality, and that I can stamp with them. I think being able to stamp with them just kind of stretches them even further. So there are 13 colors. I'm going to link them below for you. Don't forget to hit subscribe, ring the bell, and join the perks program for even more savings and discounts. And I will be back very soon with more of these paper glazes, but tomorrow I have a great video for you. I cannot wait for you to see it. So make sure you are subscribed and you've rung the bell for notifications. I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, happy crafting and have a great day. Bye.